So, welcome Timișoara, Belgrade and Ruse. Did you hear me? Could you give me a sign that you hear me? A smiley or a wave? Thank you, Belgrade. Timișoara, is everything okay? Did you hear me? Okay, and Ruse, do you also hear me? Okay, thank you, great. So, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear friends in Ruse, Belgrade, Timișoara, and here in Ulm, dear seniors from ZAVIF and the pupils from the international school in Neu-Ulm, special greetings to Sabine Meigel and Zita Sebö from the Danube office of Ulm and Neu-Ulm, who are responsible for the project coordination. Carmen Stadelhofer, my predecessor as director of ZAVIF, without whom the European Education Network Danube Networkers had not come to being, and our speaker of today, Mr. Danko Cosic from the Danube Competence Center. Welcome. Together with the Danube office, Ulm, Neu-Ulm, and the partners from Bulgaria, Serbia, and Romania, we want to develop further the project DALEC that was successfully implemented last year. With the aid of new media, we design new education programs such as these, like the online lectures, in order to bring Europe and especially the people from the Danube region together. It is a case crossing borders and languages barriers and also of finding solutions to technical problems. Younger and older should engage in discussions. In relation to the current lecture title, an exchange of views between barriers and also of finding solutions to exchange of views between the generation and cultures from the Danube countries should take place. This includes not only the lectures but also the dialogue. Therefore, we have planned for DALEC2 that on the partners' locations the lectures should be prepared for and reflected upon in face-to-face discussion groups, possibly in an intergenerational context. We hope that an intergenerational discussion will take place over the internet from on the forum of the Danube portal between groups from Ruse, Belgrade, Timișoara and Ulm. ZAVIF will evaluate the project and have prepared evaluation questionnaires. Please support us and give us feedback and suggestions what we can do better. ZAVIF sees its task in long-term contribution through projects like DALEC to the further development of lifelong learning and learning in the third age along the Danube. Also, the possibilities of the use of ICT by older peoples should be more intensively developed. Together with the Danube networkers and the many cooperation partners in the Danube region, we want to create the required structures and frameworks. DALEC is only the beginning. Before I give the word to the next speaker, I would like to express my gratitude first to the Baden-Württemberg Foundation, without whose funding DALEC and also many other activities of ZAVIF and the Danube networkers would not have been possible. To the Computer Center of Ulm University and the Technikons in Ruse, Belgrade, Timișoara, and here in Ulm, especially Mr. Hieber, without whom the connections would not take place. To Zita Sebö, who took on the communication with the partners and all the others who contribute to the success of this project. All of you, thank you very much. Now I give the word to Carmen Stadelhofer.
Dear friends in Timișoara, in Ruse and in Belgrade. All friends I know since a long time and all new friends. We are here in Ulm together with a big group of people interesting to be in contact with you. And this group is composed by elder persons and by younger persons. Perhaps you can't see them, but we have with us some school people from the 11th class of the International School of Neu-Ulm, and they speak English much better than I do, I'm sure, for they are speaking in English in school all the time. But it's not so important to speak well English, but to try to speak it and to exchange our ideas. And so we will have some help from other people who know very well to help us. We have some experience since last year, where we began the first lecture, but also a lot of us with projects we realized in the frame of the Danube Networkers. Danube Networkers means that we are creating a network by elderly, but also by persons who are younger and engaged and interested to cooperate and to exchange ideas about a lot of themes which are very important for the future of our society, but also for our. So let us begin. Let us begin with the theme of tourism, which is of interest for us all, I think. And then let us work together. Networker means that we haven't the network, but that we are making this network, that we are workers for this idea. And so I hope also this afternoon we will not have only an interesting lecture from Danko, but also a big, good discussion about different points of views concerning tourism, tourism as a joy, as a culture function, or as economic interests, or so on. Let us begin. Thank you.
So welcome everybody. Welcome here in Ulm. Welcome partners in Ruse. Welcome partners in Timișoara. And welcome partners in Belgrade. It's very nice to see you there at the video screen. My name is Sabine Meigel. I am the director of the Danube office in Ulm. And the Danube office is the project leader in this project DALEC2. Okay. We are very happy here today to welcome our first speaker, Mr. Danko Cosic. Mr. Danko Cosic is a citizen from Belgrade. He's born in Belgrade and he's working in Belgrade at the Danube Competence Center. So perhaps Belgrade can also welcome Mr. Danko Cosic, perhaps some waving. Ah, okay. So he knows the Danube nearly everywhere, from Moldova to Ukraine to Croatia. He traveled a lot, and so we think he's the perfect speaker in this first DALEC lecture. So enjoy the lecture and have a fruitful discussion. And now the floor is yours, Mr. Danko.
Thank you. My name is Danko Cosic. I come from an organization named Danube Competence Center. Danube Competence Center is a regional organization connecting more than close to 60 partners and members from all 10 countries along the Danube. The main goal of our organization is to promote Danube as a single touristic destination, to work with the local stakeholders, either help sustain their touristical services or develop new ones. With this work, we hope to raise the economic activity along the Danube and consequently help people live a better life and be able to travel elsewhere. So,
Rusi is ready too.
super. So the goal of my presentation today is not to give you a lecture. What I would like to achieve, and I hope to achieve, is to set a frame or set a context for a discussion. So I'll try not to speak too much, and I hope you will speak also with me or to all of us. We'll see how this will work with our colleagues from Belgrade and Russe and Timișoara. I hope we can communicate more than only by raising our hands. And since we are about to raise the hands, I would like to ask two simple questions, and but before maybe translation. Anyway, so please raise your hands, all you who know where Danube starts. Okay? And then please raise your hands, all you who know where Danube ends. Okay? Can you please tell me the name of the country where Danube ends? Okay, and the country? So we are lying a bit, yes? Okay. I see. You think that raising hand needs translation? Okay. This was just for fun. But in real life, unfortunately, things are more serious. People are very much uneducated about the Danube. And I met a lady recently in Berlin, and she is very much into the biking. And she told me that she ride the bike all along the Danube, all along to Passau. Many people believe that the Danube ends in Budapest. So I would like to start this discussion with the sentence, Danube goes beyond. Danube goes from Black Forest to Black Sea. So, Danube is the most important stream of Europe. It has 2,857 kilometers, and it's navigated on 2,488 kilometers. And it connects 10 countries: Germany, Austria, Slovakia, Hungary, Croatia, Serbia, Romania, Moldova, Bulgaria, and Ukraine. So the Danube ends both in Romania and in Ukraine. There is no river in the world like Danube. It runs through more countries than any other river in the world. More than 100 million people live on or near the river, and more than 20 languages are spoken along the Danube. But Danube is more than that. Danube are cities, culture, gastronomy, and leisure. People living along the Danube are people who love fun, who like music, who like to dance. Danube is a subject of many poems and many books written. For many people on Danube is a source of life. And this is for more than 10,000 years till now. But coming closer to our topic today, Danube are all of us. You as potential tourists, we working in travel or tourism development, and people who are offering Danube, service providers. So I believe that answering the question of today's discussion might be different depending on the angle, depending from which group of stakeholders we are coming from. So, economic factor or encounter. Please look at the left part of this slide. You will see that with 7% of the basin area, Germany covers 75% of 3/4 of the whole GDP at the Danube. Romania. Romania, which has the longest bank, 29%, 1/3 of whole Danube goes through Romania. Not even 4% of the gross domestic product along the Danube. So think for yourself. Why are you traveling? Do you travel? Yes.
Can you explain exactly what do you understand under basin area?
Sorry?
What do you understand under basin area?
10 countries. The territory of the 10 countries. I mean, I say 7% of the Danube bank is in Germany. Yeah. Yes, we are here just I say clarifying some of the data which are presented here. Whether 7% of Germany basin area and 75% of the GDP. But this calculation is irrelevant for the question. So can someone tell, when traveling, why are you traveling? You, sir. Why are you traveling? What are your reasons? You don't travel?
To see the nature, to see the people, to see something different from what we have around us.
Sorry? To have something different. Okay. To have fun.
Значи нещо да се забавим.
Anyone else? Why?
We are curious to see the world.
Okay, this is a good answer. Thank you. You, Miss, you wanted to say, yes? Visiting friends. How you decide where to travel? Price. Where the friends are. The weather.
Also promotion materials that tell us about the places. Promotion materials that tell us about the places.
Okay. Okay. How much do you know about the Danube? From friends, from prospects, from weather forecast? Do you feel that you know enough about the Danube? Yes, please.
We think we know a lot, but not enough.
Okay.
So Belgrade also answers
Yeah,
no.
exactly. Danube goes beyond.
No more.
Please ask him. Yes, they are doing. I mean, Bulgaria. And from Timișoara, how do you know? How much do you know from Belgrade? About Danube. I'm sure you know about Belgrade.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We know very much about Danube because it's very close from us, and of course we learn about it in school,
Знаем много за Дунава, защото е близо до нас. Учим за това в
on
училище.
TV, internet,
Телевизията от интернет,
books.
книги.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Парадокса на съвременната епоха, колкото по-глобални ставаме, толкова по-малко знаем за себе си.
We don't understand you quite well. Maybe if you switch in English. Okay. Unfortunately, and
Sorry about that, I just forgot to turn off the mic while I was translating the slides.
no, we're chit-chatting. This is fine. Thank you. Anyway, I believe, and you might disagree or agree, that we live in a certain paradox. The more global we go, the less informed about each other we turn out to be. We tend to learn through internet. We tend to communicate with such equipment. And it gives us a false sense of knowledge, that we know something. There are 15 nature parks along the Danube. Only in one, in Croatia, 2,000 different animal species live. $293 different birds. Do you know that only in several kilometers in the Iron Gate Gorge. Danube is deepest, widest, and narrowest, all at the same 5 kilometers. I'm sure you learn in school about this in Timișoara, yes? So do you know that this is in Ukraine?
Yes.
The point I want to make with last several slides is that I think tourism, and consequently tourism along the Danube, is before all opportunity to learn something new. So many things, or we are different in so many ways. But at the same time, we are so much alike. And I think that tourism is a very good way for all of us to learn this from the first-hand experience. So yes, in Germany with 75% of the GDP and in Romania with 4% of GDP, it's irrelevant. We have more in common than things that divides us or makes us different. Can you agree with this? No?
Belgrade agrees.
Belgrade agrees. Good. This is like a Eurovision contest.
We
Yeah.
agree as well. We agree too. Numbers separate us, customs unite us.
Can
Fun
you-
unites us, numbers separate us.
And what unites us? Customs. Ah, fun.
Customs,
Okay.
fun, songs, dancing, gourmet, gastronomy, all these things that you mentioned.
Timișoara also agree.
And what about Ulm? Does Ulm agrees? Okay. So we all agree. This is nice. But the European Commission see this in a more plain way. For the European Commission, tourism is actually a tool for economic development. And here I will present you one model that I find quite interesting because it targets people with economic disadvantages. People who cannot afford to travel for various reasons. Those could be young adults, families with the financial pressures, people with disabilities, or people older than 65 who cannot afford travel. But at the same time, this initiative tried to see the parts, and here we can speak also about the Danube, where tourism is either not developed or is highly seasonal. Like the seashore. Yeah? You said that you like to go for swimming, yeah? But not today, yeah? We have to wait. But maybe there are some things that you can still enjoy on the seashore in early March, yeah? Especially with this kind of weather. Yeah? So you can still have better weather on the sea coast than here in Ulm. So if you cannot afford to travel in the high season time, maybe you can afford to travel in early springtime. And then for you, this might be encounter. For the service providers on the sea, this might be economic development. But it can be another approach. The one I'm particularly fond of. The one that I'm particularly fond of, I like a lot. And I like it from my own personal experience. And this is youth work camps. This is where the local communities can organize some simple work and invite young people throughout Europe to help them. This might be, for example, a park that needs simple reconstruction. Or can be a wall that needs to be painted. But there is a free time where the young people can organize various activities. All of them in the core of tourism. They can visit nearby sites. They can witness or participate in festivals. And they can, on the top of it, they can feel useful. That they contributed along having fun, that they contributed to some other people that needed help and support. And in my mind, this stands very well with the statement I made a few minutes ago. This is the way how we can learn about each other, and this is the way how we can help each other. And still have fun, and still experience leisure, culture, and cities.
Can we pose a question from Belgrade?
Of course.
Question for Belgrade, please. We have a question here. Why is this model only intended for the young? Because we have a lady here who is saying that the elderly also have enough time on their hands, you know, so.
I couldn't agree more. So it's not. It's not necessarily. I mean, typically, this is called youth camps. But you can be innovative and creative and organize work camps for volunteers. Yes, regardless of the age. But before,
There's a question from Ruse.
yes, please.
Is there a program that under which we can organize such camps?
Yes, there is.
Is there a European program?
Yes, there is a European network of youth camps.
Има такава европейска мрежа.
I don't know whether Bulgaria is a member, but I think this is not necessarily European. It's a worldwide. I think it has over 100 countries within its network. Sorry? As the lady from Belgrade says, I mean, you can organize. I mean, you don't. The question is, again, whether it's for youth only. This network is for youth. Not necessarily. I mean, you can here in Ulm, you can speak with the mayor, because I'm sure that you don't need to sleep in luxury hotels. But yes, some work is needed before. It does not come on its own.
We have a question from Timișoara.
Please.
Do you believe that this work camp will increase tourism? These work camps can function also for seniors, not just for the young people, meaning work camp like an art camp, something like that, for the artists.
Yes, I mean, it's the work here, please read extensively. But before we get into the questions and answers and discussion, I hope, I would like for all of you to take a small break, a few moments, and discover the Danube for
Hello, my name is Gabi Körting. I'm from Ulm University. Also, hello to many friends and also new faces in Belgrade, Temešwar and Ruse. I'll moderate the next part. I would like to thank Mr. Cosic for delivering this lecture, for the food for thought and for the wonderful pictures at the beginning that give us the appetite to visit this beautiful part of the Europe. And I would like to open the section with the discussion. I would like to ask here in Ulm, but also the partner organizations, to please ask whatever you wish to. Mr. Cosic used this opportunity that he's here. Perhaps we can start with Ulm. I would like to ask the present participants here to place their questions. Okay, the ones asking questions, please come forward and let you being seen and speak in the microphone. We have representatives of different generations here, the young as well as the old, but also the middle generation. And so hopefully we'll get some stimulating questions. So, this first question.
So, what I would like, what I would like to know from the lady in Temešwar, or from people coming from Temešwar, because they said that you learned a lot about the Danube at school and in your country. So, can you give me some reasons why you personally would come to Germany, and what would you are you like to see? Would you like to see in Germany and to learn about the Danube here in our country?
So that was the question on Temešwar. Did you hear us?
We have us.
Can you hear us?
Belgrade is not receiving
We would like to come to Germany to visit the forehead from where the Danko spring, and also to see the Black Forest mountain.
Sorry, I don't know if anyone, we didn't hear you very well. Can you please repeat what you said?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Better, thank you.
Okay. Thank you too. So we would like to come to Germany to see the forehead, where the Danube springs, and the Black Forest mountain.
So the Danube and the Black Forest Mountains are interesting. Okay. Why may I ask why these? Why did you select these options?
Because it's something new for us, and I think it will be very interesting for us to see.
Okay, thank you very much.
But maybe at the same time you would like to offer our guests and colleagues here from Germany where to come and what to visit in your country.
Yes, of course. Firstly, Timișoara, who is a little bit not so close to Danube, but the Iron Gate is a very interesting thing to see. The Banatian Mountain, who is all karstic, and the landscape is very interesting. The Danube is wonderful. So we will be waiting for you in here. And the Delta Danube. Romania is a very nice and beautiful country, but it's a little pity that the person from Europe doesn't know us very better. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Was there a new question? No? It would be interesting maybe to ask some of the younger participants here. What do you think if you were to visit the countries along the Danube, let's say further from Austria, because these are our neighbors? What kind of offers would attract you? What would be interesting for you? What you'd like to see, or what kind of tourist offer would interest you? Would anyone? Would like to say something? Come to.
Yeah, well, I think I can speak for my class that we enjoy sports very much. We've been on many school trips together with sports. So I think I can speak for all of us that we're very interested in sports. So is there anything along the Danube that you can do except for like cycling and looking at the surroundings?
Yes. I mean, there are a lot of pitches, so you can play football. You can do kayaking along the Danube, and I think this is also a good opportunity to mention a person named Ivan Patsaikin, three-time golden medalist from the Olympic Games in kayaking, and he is born in a small island in Danube Delta. And he's now promoting a kayaking. And there is a festival in Tulcea, in city of Tulcea, in Delta, in August, I would guess. And it calls Romania. So you can compete, so you can, with your friends. Huh? So kayaking is one. You can ride horses, and you can swim. But seriously, you can swim, because you will if you go down the Danube, you will find the sand beaches that are as good as, where do you like to go? Spain, Portugal. But it's more demanding, because the Danube has a very strong stream, so you have to swim against Danube. So you might find fun.
Okay, thank you very much. If they decide they will want to go and swim along the Danube, how do they find out about it best? What kind of platforms are they? How do they find out about these offers?
There is a short answer to this question, and there is a long one. So the long one starts with very hard, is to find what's along the Danube. Until very recently, there were no any single, for example, internet portal where you can find what's along the Danube. But now there is Danube.travel web portal, which is still young, so it fits well. You can visit www.danube.travel, and there you can find a lot what Danube can offer. Starting from various routes and trails, to the culture and historic heritage, wine routes, which might be fun. And of course, accommodation, various types from hotel to pensions and hostels. Restaurants as well. So visit danube.travel. You can leave your comments, and you can also post your own favorite trails or travel experiences.
Thank you very much. I think I would like to go to the partner and ask the partner organizations to place their questions. Is there anything you would like to ask Mr. Cosic or tell us about tourism along the Danube? Also think about the issue that the title of Mr. Cosic's presentation was economic factor or encounter. I mean, what do we imagine as tourism? What is tourism for us along the Danube? What do we expect? What would we like to have? Please ask what you want. So I would say, let's start with Temeshwar.
We have a question. Do you think that a virtual work camp for the young people from the Danube area is such a good idea? Because the young people have to know each other, and some ideas come from a country to another, some routes, I believe, because if someone wants to come in Romania, I know better something about Romania than a person who come as a tourist in Romania. Did you understand me? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yes?
I say.
This was our question.
Yes, I think in my opinion, every initiative that brings people together is a good one. My previous point about the internet was not undermining the importance and the effects of internet and the benefits of it. My point was, and I think that your idea can contribute, is that we have to be less superficial, and we have to dig deeper, and that's the baseline. So yes, I think it's a good idea.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sorry, may I just ask, what do you mean by being less superficial, going deeper in the
ideas? The internet stimulates the short attention span. That means that we go very fast over a certain data, and it gives us and how I say, it gives us only a sense that we learned something. But in reality, we just saw it. So my point is that and that's where also our web portal is trying to add value, is that we, even both on the internet or in real life, we try to stop. We try to share the moment, to spend more time and learn, and try to learn more about the things, not only to witness them. So in that sense. If this answers. Not necessarily by visiting. I mean, I agree. Internet it has a great potential. On internet, you can, and the modern technologies really allows us, and I think that this video also proves it, to really experience something. But the time allocated is what I believe is important. Yes, it's always better to travel, to experience in real life, but sometimes this is simply not possible. So when using internet, when learning we're trying to visit virtually places. I think it's very much important that we I say, dedicate time. And then this time will I say, consequently give us I say, deeper knowledge on the things that we are interested in.
Okay, I think we have oh yeah, only temporary thing. Okay, thank you. I would like to go to Ruse and ask Ruse to if they have any questions.
Okay, we agree 100% with our lecturer that face-to-face meetings are much better than internet encounters, first of all. And then we have a question here from one of our senior members. He's waving his hand, and I'm going to translate to him because he doesn't speak English. In fact, this is not a question, but a suggestion. A traveling workshop, organize a workshop on deck a boat, on deck a ship, and travel all the way from the spring, from Schwarzwald to the Delta and back, discussing all those problems that we are discussing virtually.
Yes. This is...
Are there such programs, maybe?
This is super idea. The only problem with this is that renting a cruise ship for such exercise would cost you approximately 250,000 euros. And I agree, it's a lot of fun, I'm sure.
We have another question. Does your center, the Danube Competence Center, organize such youth work camps where our young people can take part as well?
No.
No?
No.
You say no?
No, not yet, but we would like to support in future such initiatives.
We did have one idea, which was an idea for exchange. Is a question to us now? Is this a question to us?
Okay, there's
Question to us now?
Mrs. Michael will comment on the youth camps. Will say something about the youth camp idea.
There is a youth camp every second year here in Ulm during the time of the Danube Festival. So in 2014 there will be the next youth camp in July, and from each country can participate around 10 to 20 young people. So this will be, I think, the next possibility, but also there will be a youth camp in Serbia this year at the end of July, organized from the government of the Vojvodina. And as far as I know, there can be about 10 people from each country. So there will be about 100 young people together in the village of Bačka Topola.
Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Michael.
So, if I may go back to the question also from Ruse about the ship, although there may not be a ship going from the source to the mouth, it's not even possible because the Danube disappears a little bit along the way, no? So, but there are boat various initiatives and boat trips, and so could you say something about it? Is there a portal, or is there anywhere where one can find about such? What's the best way? How can one find about boat trips along the Danube?
To my knowledge, sorry, to my knowledge, I might be wrong. There are only two ways so far you can travel on boat. One is to buy a bed in a cruise ship, where you can look for the cruise companies, and the second one, I mean, there are three ways. The first or the second one would be to own the boat, so you can drive your own boat, and the third one is to organize individual travels. All of this is quite expensive. For example, if you would like to rent a one-day boat for 1 day in Danube Delta, this would cost you approximately 300 to 350 euros. To my understanding, the cruise ships are even more expensive. This would cost starting from 450 or 500 euros and going to 2,000. So this is quite expensive, not necessarily for each and every person, but unfortunately, so far, this is the only way. There are some initiatives to organize a kind of cruise line, which will be cheaper, and would also allow for the people with bikes or hikers or people who wants to travel along the Danube to come in and out with affordable cost. But this is still only idea for now. Maybe in a year or two, this might be more than idea, but so far.
Okay, and are you interested in ideas? If, for example, these partner universities here get together and they have an idea of organizing a wonderful trip along the Danube, culture, a bit of culture and meetings and so on, how would we go about it? I mean, would we have to do it as a private initiative, or can we contact organization like yours for help? If there's an initiative of setting up, you said there are some initiatives. If, for example, the universities here get together and set up a new idea, new initiative, organize a tour that wouldn't be so very expensive, and that would include all the things that seniors like, so culture, meetings with other seniors, and so on. And but nevertheless, they may need some professional help to put such a initiative, to start up such an initiative. Can they contact you for help, or can they contact some kind of organization to help them to initiate such a thing?
In principle, yes, you might contact us. At this point in time, I can't promise anything, because that very much depends. In principle, we work with our members. So the prerequisite to work with us is to become the member of our organization. I'm not sure that each of the university has an interest, especially that there is a fee allocated to this. It very much depends. There is a list, because we have members coming from public institutions like German Travel Board, or we have members like NGOs like Danube, Donaubüro is. So various sizes, various institutions have various fees, and then every year we have a small scheme, project calls for projects for our members, and that, for example, might be one mechanism for such initiatives. However, it would need, and here this already is, it has to be a transnational. We do not support national projects. However, they might be important from the local point of view. What we are trying to do is, I say, to help connect people living around the Danube as to work together to improve their living conditions, improve the tourism along the Danube, and consequently improve the pleasure for all people visiting Danube.
Thank you very much. It's very interesting, and we'll take you up on that. I would like to go to Belgrade and ask them to place their questions. If they have any questions to Mr. Cosic, please. Belgrade, do you hear me? Belgrade, sorry.
Do you read us?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes, we hear very well.
Okay, good. So we have a couple of suggestions and a couple of questions, not too long. So we would like to support the Bulgarian proposal about the development of camps, and also we would like to, let's say, support this initiative to found camps for people over 65 years of age. Because here in Serbia we have a huge number of ethnological manifestations, also many historical, let's say, important locations, archaeologically important locations, so a lot of handiwork, also fish stew by the Danube, and different types of things for, let's say, people over the age of 65 to meet together and to enjoy, not necessarily to work, but simply to spend quality time together. Also, the characteristics of Danube in Serbia, exactly like what you said. The Danube is here at the Iron Gate, the widest, the deepest, and the narrowest at the same time. So this could also be something that they could see and enjoy. Also, we support the proposal to be connected with these, let's say, institutions from the other countries and every possible organization, which are oriented towards people who are over 65 years of age, to have also many different types of exchanges, you know. And we also have one suggestion that they can, our people from Serbia maybe can be guests abroad with other people, other elderly people, and to have this kind of reciprocity, also to act as hosts for people coming abroad here in Serbia to show them what we have. Also, one of the questions was, what do you think? What model out of these two that you've mentioned, or maybe something completely different, could help Serbia to increase the GDP that we've seen in the beginning? I'm sorry, just one more addition. Since these models were mostly, let's say, touristical in nature, what would be your suggestions about the economical nature and the improvement of the, as we said, the GDP here in Serbia? Thank you.
Since we are in tourism, I think we should stick with the tourism. So there is no direct link between any of the models with the GDP increase. Unfortunately, GDP increase needs hard work, and those models can only help you develop better conditions to bring more people. More people will create higher demand for the services. And assuming that there are people with entrepreneurial ideas, that can generate a more I say that could generate increase in economic development, which consequently might might lead to a GDP increase. But unfortunately, there are no shortcuts. If this answers your question.
Yes, yes. We're just trying to see if we have another question. Maybe we do. This was a suggestion from a younger gentleman regarding these youth camps. Aha, maybe this can be like a mixture, you know, to have elderly people organizing camps for the young. So this kind of intergeneration cooperation. So vice versa, yeah.
Yes.
So you see it also possible.
Yes, I mean, in my mind, everything is possible. It's really whether there are people who are ready and able to implement this. The more ideas we have, the better solution we'll have as a consequence. And something will not work, something will work.
We have maybe one more small comment, if we may.
Yes, please.
It was about the title of your presentation. Here people are insisting that maybe the title should have been like not only economic factor or, let's say, encounter, but to be economic factor and encounter. So a small semantic issue, but people here are really persistent. You know?
I understand it's important.
Also, maybe one more piece of information coming in from Belgrade. So the Pensioners Society from a municipality called Stari Grad in Belgrade, 15 days ago they now have a website, and some of the pensioners are taking a look at this conversation from their own homes, and very soon we will send you our domain, and we would like to exchange information through internet. Because we believe that the third age should not, let's say, lag behind the technological revolution and behind the young people. So this is the last comment. Thank you.
So thank you very much. It was a very good suggestion for the end of our video conference, end of our meeting. I would suggest that please, as you know, on the website of the project DALEC, there's access to forum, and all suggestions or exchange of tips, ideas are very welcome. Please post them on the forum, and discussion can take place on them. I would here like to thank very much Mr. Cosic for coming here and delivering this lecture. It is a real food for thought, and I think there's much that can be done. Obviously, it's something that's very much in the beginning, and maybe one day I looked in the internet, and there was 180 million clicks when you gave in tourism in the south of Europe. When you gave tourism in east of Europe, south east of Europe, you got 100,000 clicks. Impossible. So there's still much to do to change that, and thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Thank you all. And
so at the end, I want to say also thank you to Ruse, Belgrade, and Timișoara, and also to the participants in Ulm. I want to invite you to the next lecture. It's on the 10th of April, and the topic is the demographic changing in the Danube region. Yeah. And yes, and at the end, I want to also invite you to take part on the evaluation and to give us a feedback what we can do better. And yeah, thank you to Ruse, Timișoara, Belgrade, and good evening. Bye-bye.